All right, welcome. Oh, Jesus, the music is loud. The music is so loud. Welcome back to another week of Winter 2025 tier list where I go over the most recent episodes that I watched and rate it based on how much I enjoyed them. Is there any show that we dropped this week? No. Honestly, if there is a show we should be dropping just purely on performance, it should be Guild Receptionist. Most recent episode? Let's think about it. What really happened? Black company propaganda. Set up for what? I'm not sure what's gonna happen next arc. This show has been more and more disappointing that I watched, not gonna lie. Like, it's honestly lost all the hype and momentum. I mean, every show loses the hype and momentum after the first episode. And another great example of that is honestly this show right here. This is probably the biggest fall off if we're gonna compare the first couple episodes of viewership versus the most recent ones, but the fights are really mid and the plot is when it gets serious, I'm not sure if it does really well. The slice of life moments and the interactions is kind of what I watch it for, but the most recent episode, low-key kind of boring. Just had a bit of like black company trauma overtime propaganda that I went on a tangent with and kind of talked about that, but Next episode, Medalist. Most recent episode, we're finally caught up. It was, I would say, good. It was time skip, and the focus was on that Rio kid who is just so fucking frustrating and upsetting to watch. I understand what kind of character he's supposed to be. He's probably gonna get a correction and have development from the pompous, cocky-ass, self-aware loser that he is and become a person that is way less edgier. But holy shit, that kid is so frustrating to watch. Still, a good episode. Next up, Sakamoto Days. I should probably put it at great. We're watching episode 9. We're talking episode 9. But I'm gonna put it at peak. Because I feel like if I don't do that, Sakamoto Days will never have a slot that's gonna make it on peak tier. The most recent episode, episode 9 for me, I think was the most enjoyable episode. The action was hype, it was funny. The comedic tones during the fight, I described it like a Jackie Chan movie-esque fight. Sakamoto is not only taking out the Wolverine guy, but taking care of senior citizens on the train. Opening candies and making sure everyone is safe while mid-fighting. The style, the aura is crazy. Peasuke, Heisuke stuff was also pretty clutch with Shin. The reunion with the science member was also good. And Slur showed up with so much aura. That dude was not Seba-chan. I'm really died on the hill thinking it was Seba-chan the entire time. But hey, Slur showed up and he just basically just... he just farmed aura and left. I want to see more of it. I'm sure we'll get more of him in the second core. Next up, let's talk about Villainous Oji-san. Just based on the pure quality of the episodes, I probably put it at good. I feel like a lot of the references and the jokes are very boomer stuff. The more I think about it, the more I realize why Takeuchi, the legendary anime director, decided to work on this project. It's probably a love letter, right? He probably is from that generation. He probably, you know, vibes with all the old jokes, and this is a passion project for him. The anime quality is stunning, but the story itself is quite boring, I'm not gonna lie. Literally nothing fucking happens. It's just slice of life episodic episodes where the character interactions, I'm honestly getting bored. Like, you can only have people glaze for grace and get the affection points going up. Now, the entire building's affection went up, which was pretty funny. But aside from that, it's honestly lost a lot of luster and the hype from the beginning. But again, a lot of people I think had the wrong expectation of this anime. The first episode was peak, but every subsequent episode has just been kind of dying and dying and dying, and the performance, I think, reflects that. Next up, we just watched 100 Girlfriends. I am gonna probably put this on the great. I don't think it's really peak. Anytime you have bulk of the episode just being carried by fan service, I don't really give a fuck about. Unless you're a stupid 15-year-old kid, you know, you see the tentacle fan service and you think it's peak. To me, I need something more than that. Like the baseball episode was peak for me, but this episode, honestly, it was pretty fun, action-oriented, ridiculous. Just peak 100 girlfriend ridiculousness. Save the planet with the power of hair. But I think I'm gonna place it on great. Next up, mail order isekai. This shit was mid as fuck. Yeah, I'll probably put it at mid. He didn't fuck anyone new, and it was just him going and bullying the spiders, and the spiders did nothing wrong. I feel like the next coming episodes are gonna be crazy because the queen noble showed up. I think he's gonna fuck her. It's gonna happen. So we'll be kind of waiting in anticipation for that. Got to see Anemone use magic, which is cool, I guess. Meowdy is becoming way more aggro and hostile towards, you know, Niamen or something, because, you know, they're all trying to make moves. Her beast instincts are kicking in, which is pretty funny. But he didn't fuck anyone new, so mid. Next up, A rank party. I put this shit in great. I do. It was a aftermath episode. Slice of life, downtime, cleaning up after what happened with Simon, mending things with Jamie. Rain is making moves like crazy. She got the apron on. She is flirting with Yuke like crazy. There's also Silk, you know, who's also making their moves. Everyone is making their moves. We're getting set up for the next arc to a big dungeon. A new dungeon has opened. It was good. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed the character interactions, where even a slow episode like that, it gets carried by the character interaction. Honestly, I just love Yuke, you know, interacting with the girls, specifically Rain, because she's so cheeky and makes her advances towards Yuke. Can't believe the romance element is actually going strong there. Next up, Great Alchemist. What happened most recent episode? The golem popped off. We hunted in a dungeon for a bit. That, I don't really care about the dungeon stuff though. What happened after? Some plot related stuff with the summoning happening. New girl did show up. She's not a slave. It's probably around here somewhere, right? It's probably around here somewhere. I can't in good conscience put this in the same caliber as these if we're just talking about pure production value. And then I think about the story elements. It's not that enticing just yet. I think the next couple episodes should be pretty fun though, because the summoning, the timelines are now matching up. So we'll see what Iruma's up to. Next up, I'm putting this shit in peak. Unreal nuclear drama. I have never seen such blatant cuckoldry in a rom-com like this. This episode was insane. Himari is calling Akane and being like, you like that? Yeah? I'm gonna keep doing this shit to your husband and you can't stop me. It's unreal. I don't feel upset at Himari. It's all Akane's fault. She got too embarrassed to admit the truth in public. So she's trying to cover up the truth with the lie. And Himari is going the distance with it. Is what Himari doing kind of uncalled for? Yeah. But Akane let this shit happen. Himari is going all the way. It is unreal again. The level of drama that's happening. Like, it's so like, she just in your face. Himari is like telling Akane, oh, I did this with your man, so I'm gonna keep doing this shit. And I'm just watching the episode being like, holy shit, nuclear drama. This show is actually so fun to watch, man. Next up, mid. Listen, this shit is like, I do not give a fuck about the fight scenes. Like, it's just boring. Like, who cares about Azir and, you know, Reina or whatever her name with the Amen stuff? The fight scenes are mid. The flashbacks are kind of okay. People watch this anime for, like, the comical tones of a Power Ranger and an isekai show, but that shit's kind of being put on the side as we have just generic fights happening with, you know, story plot lines that's so uninteresting. Pretty fucking mid, dude. Pretty mid. Got nothing to say. And like, listen, like the first couple episodes, definitely it was really interesting. But again, like everything, obviously, there's gonna be weak points in some arcs and some points of the story. It can't always retain the hype, so this is just mid, bro. Next up, Danmachi goes to peak. Season 5 concludes and nobody even knows that even happened. Unfortunate, but that's what happens when you have a decade plus show, right? It's a very old show. The finale was amazing. Bell went Super Saiyan 2, hitting like imbued Bell with this new electric aura power. Bell got a status update. Otara didn't even go down, honestly. He just took them all on, and at the very end, he took one knee and he was like, you know what, Bell? Alright, you do your thing. Freya, low-key got bailed out. She lost all her assets. But at the end of the day, Freya is welcome back to Mamma Mia's crib to hang out as Seer, and everything ends. It was my favorite season. Absolutely, it was my favorite season. All the other seasons are very fun too. But god damn, bro. The Freya stuff has been set up since the beginning. We get to, you know, witness the secrets, this just shock. All the gaslighting, the manipulation was insane. Into the war game stuff, which is so fucking hype. Season 5, amazing. And we'll be waiting for season 6, which will probably happen in the next 4 years or something. Next up, Apothecary Diaries. This shit goes to the peak too. It does. This shit, bro, like, oh my god. The diddler got diddled by a lolly. I truly think that I outdid myself with the most recent Apothecary Diaries episode title. I don't think people appreciate these titles, bro. I genuinely don't think that anyone is even close to me in coming up with anime reaction titles. Everyone is just doing Apothecary Diaries Season 2 Episode 9 reaction. I can't believe this. Nah, lame, bro. I'm trying. I'm putting so much fucking effort into it. I'm also noticing such subtle little things. Ain't no other fucking reactor noticing. But you know why none of this shit matters? Because we only get 1,600 views. No one cares. We are an insect. We are an absolute insect. A small drop. A puddle in this ocean that we call anime reaction space. Anyways, it was an amazing episode though. The revelations, crazy. Lady Anshi, bro. She was a lolly that fully knew that the Emperor was into lollies. And she used that to her advantage and groomed the Emperor. The diddler got diddled. Insane. The preservative stuff, I think a lot of people already picked up on it. Like, obviously, it's some sort of drug, right? The painting, oh, the gold stuff. Let's see if that's the paint fumes. It was that simple. But the diddler lore was unfucking real. I think that Suiren Baba is the Baba who had the kid with the Emperor, but it was a daughter and got exiled, right? The daughter and the doctor got exiled. That's my guess. Mama was getting a little bit closer to Jinshi stuff, and that's pretty much it. Amazing episode. Creepy, terrifying episode. It's just like, damn, the author's on another level. This is demented. Next up, ReZero. Holy shit, that was hype. Vincent Chansard pulled up and said, let me cook. Probably one of the best isekai fight scenes that we're ever gonna have in isekai anime. There are definitely some isekais that can compete. Mushoku Tensei, the Hydra episode on Father's Day, that shit went insane, absolutely. But ReZero, I'm so glad that it finally got an action sequence, a Sakuga moment that it deserves. For such a big and notable series, it's getting the treatment it deserves on a fight that no one expected on too. Garfield versus Kurgan? No disrespect to them, but this is a matchup that I think a lot of people are sleeping on. But damn, bro. That minute and a bit Sakuga moment was out of this world. The fight was so fucking hype. Peak. And finally, mid. Boring. Boring. Manhwa better. Anime cliffhanger sucks. Nah, this shit goes to the peak too, right? This shit goes to the peak. I'm not sure that I think that Danmachi and ReZero definitely gets a priority over it. because Solo Leveling is not in that pop-off episode just yet. It was like the Japanese versus Korean Hunter stuff was pretty hype. Goto versus Sung Jin-woo was pretty hype. The Ant Raid setup into the actual Ant Raid start and then the cliffhanger was insane. But I don't think that it is that type of pop-off episode that Danmachi and ReZero was. And that's pretty much it. A lot of episodes in the peak tier. Honestly, this is a pity peak. Sakamoto Days is probably like, honestly, low-key, like, it should be probably like this. But I want to like put these shows in peak just to give them a chance, because I feel like these shows will never have a chance to be in the peak tier. So kind of a pity peak. But that's it from me. I'll see you next week.